Hola y buenos días. Yo soy el señor Maurice. ¿Cómo están ustedes? ¿Y cómo te llamas? ¿Y cuántos años tienes? ¿Y dónde vives? Today, you'll be taking the evaluation for the fourth unit called Pueblos, Ciudades, y Estados. Now, if you're taking this as a pretest before you've studied the stuff in this unit, try to do the best that you can. Okay? If you're taking this as a post-test, that is after you've studied everything, all of the items on the evaluation should be familiar to you by this time. So just relax and do the best that you can. Also, remember to use your test-taking skills and mark through answers as you use them so that you don't end up repeating an answer for 2 questions. Also, be sure that you match up the question that you're answering with the response that you're giving, so you write the right answer on the right spot. Let's start by filling in the information at the top of the evaluation form. Okay? Go ahead and write your name and your teacher's name. Okay? And you can write your Spanish name if you want to there. Yeah. Now be sure to circle either the word pre-test or post-test so that we'll know whether you're taking this test before or after you've studied the material. Muy bien. Ahora vamos a empezar. On numbers 1 to 4, I'd like you to identify the different cardinal directions. Okay? Select your answer from the answer key over here and write the name of your answer, the direction, right over there next to the corresponding number. Let's go ahead and begin with number 1. Please find the name of this direction in the answer key and write it next to number 1. Go ahead and continue now with this direction on number 2. Find the name of this direction in the key and write it next to number 2. Let's continue now with number 3. Find the name of this direction in the answer key and write your response next to number 3. And the last one on this part, number 4. You should have one answer left. Hopefully it's the one for this direction. Write your answer next to number 4. Muy bien. Now, on numbers 5 to 11, please identify the different places that people live. Okay? We'll be looking at each of these. Find your response here in the key and write the letter of your response next to the corresponding number. Okay? Let's go ahead and get started with number 5. Let's look now at number 6. Find your response and write it next to number 6. And let's continue now with number 7. Find your response and write it next to number 7. Continuing now with number 8. Find your answer, write the letter of your response next to number 8. Continuing now with number 9. What is this called? Find your answer. Write the letter of your response next to number 9. And let's look now at number 10. Find your response for this. Write the letter next to number 10. And the last one on this page, number 11. Find your response for that. Write the letter of your response next to number 11. Muy bien. You're more than halfway finished now for the test. Now, on numbers 12 to 17, identify the means of transportation picture and write the letter of the vocabulary word next to the corresponding number. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with number 12. Number 12, find your response, write the letter next to number 12. And let's look now at number 13. Find the vocabulary for this picture. Write the letter of your response next to number 13. And let's look now at number 14. Find the vocabulary word for this picture. Write the letter of your response next to number 14. Now, number 15. Find the vocabulary word for this means of transportation. Write the letter of your response next to number 15. And now, number 16. Find the vocabulary word for this picture. Write the letter of your response next to number 16. And now, number 17. You should have one answer left. Write the letter of your response next to number 17. Muy bien. Now, for numbers 18 to 20, choose the word from the key that best describes each picture. Write the letter of your response next to the corresponding number. La derecha, área urbana, área rural. Let's start with number 18. Find your response. Write the letter of your answer next to number 18. Number 19, right there. See if you can find that vocabulary word. Write the letter of your response next to number 19. And the last one we have here, number 20. Hopefully you have one answer left. It should match up with this. Write the letter of your response beside number 20. Muy bien. Now let's look at the extra credit. Here, I would like you to write down the answer to this question. What is a bus called in Puerto Rico? What is a bus called in Puerto Rico? Go ahead and write that down now. Very good. Please go ahead and turn your test into your teacher now. As always, I'll be going over the test right now if you'd like to grade it. But before we grade the test, teachers, I'd like to remind you that if you're going to be starting Unit 5 next, you may want to administer the pre-test first, or you may not want to. It's up to you. Now, let's see how everyone did on the test. If you need to put me on hold for a minute while you exchange papers, go ahead and do so. And let's go ahead and look at the test right now. We'll start off up here. Write the cardinal directions next to the corresponding number. This first one is norte. Norte. Go ahead and write that down, and I'm going to cross through it. Number 1 is norte. Number 2, going out in this direction. In English, that's east. Y en español, este. Este. So I'm going to mark through that. Este. Number 3, going down here, opposite of north, is sur. Number 3 is sur. I'm going to mark through that. And that leaves me only one more here, and that's oeste. Number 4 coming out in this direction is oeste. Okay, so there are your answers for numbers 1 through 4. Norte, este, sur, oeste. Let's continue now with numbers 5 through 11. Okay, write the letter of the vocabulary word pictured. Okay, for number 5 here, let's go ahead and get in a little bit closer so that you can see that. That's a little town. So we talked about, you could say vivo en un pueblo. En un pueblo, letter D. Number 5 is letter D. Number 6, you could say vivo en, and what would this be? This would be el campo, letter F. Number 6 is letter F. Number 7, Arizona. Arizona es un estado. Un estado. Letter G. Number 7 is letter G. Okay? You could say you live in one of these. What is this called? This would be una casa pequeña. This is a small house. Una casa pequeña is letter B. Number 8 is letter B. Number 9. Oh, this is where a couple of families live together. What do we call this? Es un edificio de apartamentos. Un edificio de apartamentos. Letter C. Number 9 is letter C. Number 10, you could say vivo en este lugar. Es una ciudad. Una ciudad is letter E. Number 10 is letter E. And number 11, ooh, this is a big house. Es una casa grande. Una casa grande, letter A. Number 11 is letter A. So here are your responses for numbers 5 through 11. Okay, I tell you what, I hope you all are doing pretty well now, and I hope if you're taking this as a pre-test, you're saying, oh, I recognize that, that looks familiar. If you're taking this as a post-test after we've studied it, I hope you're saying, I'm getting them all right. Let's continue now with numbers 12 through 17, where we identify the means of transportation pictured and write down the letter of the vocabulary word. Let's go ahead and get in here a little bit closer so that you can see these really clearly. Number 12, this is a bus, and this is a bus that takes you to school. Es un autobús escolar, letter F. Number 12 is letter F. The next one that we see here is a fire truck. Es un camión de bomberos. Letter C. Number 13 is letter C. Number 14. You might write around on one of these as una bicicleta. Letter A. Number 14 is letter A. Number 15. This is a public bus. Es un autobús público. That's letter E. So number 15 is letter E. The next one that we see here, you might drive around in one of these. It's an automobile. Y en español, automóvil. Letter B. Number 16 is letter B. And number 17, this is the truck that comes and picks up our trash, right? Trash truck. Es un camión de la basura. Letter D. Number 17 is letter D. So here are your responses for 12 through 17. Now, these last three here, it says choose the word from the key to best describe each picture. Let's see these pictures. Okay, now this isn't campo or ciudad. Now we're talking about urban and rural. Number 18 es una área rural. Letter C. 18 is letter C. 19. This looks like it's in the city somewhere. This is an urban area. Una área urbana. Letter B. 19 is B. And then this arrow is pointing a la derecha. So this is letter A, la derecha. Okay. Now, the extra credit. What is a bus called in Puerto Rico? Now, if you're taking this as a pre-test, this one might be a tough one for you to figure out. If you're taking this as a post-test, we talked about this when we talked about language, and we also had a story about this. What is a bus called in Puerto Rico? Wawa. Wawa. And G-U-A is how they spell it in Spanish. Okay? Now your teacher can have some flexibility in what he or she will accept as a proper answer for that. Wawa. Remember, we said that's what they call a baby in some countries in the Andes. Oh, wawa. Muy bien. Well, I hope you all did very well on your test, whether you're taking it as a pre-test before you've studied the material or as a post-test after you've studied it. I hope you recognized all of it. If you're going to be using Unit 4 now, your next lesson will be the first lesson of Unit 4. If you're moving on to Unit 5, you may wish to take the pre-test before you begin Lesson 1 of Unit 5. Either way, I look forward to seeing you in our next class. Until then, adios.